This is a crypto market forecast for April 1st through the 16th, looking at how the astrology could influence the crypto market. If you guys could please hit that like and subscribe button, it would help to get this video out to more beautiful viewers like you. And if you're interested in an astrology reading, my link is in the description below. Schedule an astrology reading so we can take a look at your future, your present, and even your past. And before we begin, just want to let you guys know that I have officially been monetized. And with that, I get memberships. So I'm thinking of starting memberships for the crypto market, looking deeper into the monthly cycles. Let me know if you're interested in something like that. And this forecast that I'm doing is a little bit different, where I have trading candles on the screen here to give you a visual of what I'm talking about for the market. So April 1st is the full moon. It's in Libra at 12 degrees. Venus is the ruler of this moon. Venus is in Taurus. Venus likes to be in Taurus. It's its home sign. But it is squaring Pluto during this full moon, giving this power struggle dynamics for the market, power struggles of the prices, struggling of the prices. The moon is also opposite to Saturn, and the sun is opposite to Saturn. So there is this limitation with the prices, struggling of the prices to come up. And the moon is also squaring to Jupiter. Again, that's another power struggle. It's another struggle for prices. But the moon is parallel to the North Node, which is positive. It's giving a little bit of inspiration to the market. And Mercury is also next to the North Node. That is positive for trading. So the next 2 weeks from this full moon through the end of the cycle, which is April 16th, I do see this as having a bit of a struggle back and forth, but there is this silver lining or light at the end of the tunnel feeling within the market, like maybe the end is near, the end of this challenging market is near. So on the screen, you see these trading candles. For this one, I did put some times of possible movement. Early in the morning, it could be more challenged. Midday, we could have a bit of more positive momentum. During the full moon, I do see this as being more challenged. The full moon happens at 22:11. It's closer to the end of the day, so the end of the day could be a little bit more challenged. Now, one thing to say about these candles, this is not exactly how the day will go. It's just giving you a visual of possible patterns of the market. This is a full moon for Bitcoin. Venus is the ruler of Bitcoin's midhaven. That's actually pretty positive. The moon will be conjunct Bitcoin's midhaven. It's 1 degree off. The midhaven's at 13 degrees and the moon is at 12 degrees, but it is close. The challenge with this one is that this is the day that Saturn is exactly squaring Bitcoin's Mars. Saturn's at the bottom of the chart. It's at 5 degrees. It's close to its moon. And that I do see as a challenge. It was conjunct its moon earlier in the month, but having Saturn squaring to Bitcoin's Mars is a bit of a challenge. So that's why I do see that these prices could be challenged towards the end of the day, and especially in the very beginning of the day. This transit could take over the entire market and have it overall a challenged market, just have it overall negative momentum. Transiting Venus is also squaring to Bitcoin's Mercury. This is also a challenge towards the end of the day. It's another reason why I felt that this would be a similar pattern for the market of challenge, possibly overall negative momentum. The only thing that is positive, very positive, is the full moon is next to Bitcoin's midhaven. This could be a signal that this second half of this month will have more positive momentum than the first half of the month. It could surprise us. This could be overall positive, but again, with Saturn squaring to Bitcoin's Mars, its action, its aggression, I do see this as taking over the market to be a challenge day. Now, with the sun exactly at the bottom of Bitcoin's chart. That's another challenge. It gets this pulling down of prices, pulling down momentum, pulling down the prices. April 2nd and the 3rd, I see this as momentum continuing in this direction. Now, I don't think it's going to be a descending triangle. I just have those words there on the screen, so ignore those words. I do see this momentum of challenged prices, challenged market to continue through April the 3rd. Blue here is general transits, and yellow here is Bitcoin's transits. The 2nd, there's no transits occurring in any of the charts. So the 2nd, however the 1st unfolds, is how the 2nd will continue to follow its pattern. On April the 3rd, Venus is squaring to Pluto. That's very challenging. And the Sun is exactly squaring Bitcoin's Sun. That's also very challenging. So the 1st through the 3rd, I see the trend continuing in a downward negative momentum. April 4th through the 8th, I see the market starting to come back to life, having more positive. April 4th is Venus trining Bitcoin's Mars. That's positive. So this will be more of a positive momentum on this day of the 4th. On the 5th, though, we have the Sun squaring to Jupiter, Venus sextile the North Node in the general transits. So in the morning time, this could be more positive. And then towards the evening, afternoon, it could be coming back down the prices. Positive momentum more in the morning, afternoon of the day, and then towards the second half of the day, it could be more challenged market. April 6th and 7th, I see the market as volatile, up and down, not just positive or not just negative. And it's due to the Sun being at 17 degrees on April 6th and the 7th. 17 degrees is a very critical degree for Bitcoin this year. So because of that, I feel that it's going to present some challenges on the 6th and the 7th. Now, on the 6th, Mercury will be next to Bitcoin's Uranus, but it's also coming into an opposition with Bitcoin's Saturn on the 8th. So that's why I feel the 6th and the 7th is going to be a volatile market, up and down, not just up, not just down, but moving in this up and down direction, almost like it's confused on which way that it wants to go. Now, there could be some really positive periods on the 6th and the 7th due to Mercury coming into this conjunction with Uranus, especially on the 6th. You could have more positive on the 6th than on the 7th. On the 7th, that could be when the energy from Sun at 17 degrees really shows. April 8th, we have Mars sextile to Uranus and Mercury opposite to Bitcoin Saturn. It will still be next to Bitcoin's Uranus. Now, I feel that Mars sextile Uranus in the general transits will overtake most of this day. Because these transits happen close in time, we could have some challenges as well during the day, but I feel like for overall, this will be mostly a positive day. The candles that I have on the chart do not reflect how I feel the day is going to look. I feel like it's going to be more positive, followed by some challenges, but overall, these positive candles are going to win out. And that's also because on the 9th, Mars will sextile Bitcoin's Jupiter. And that's also helping these candles to really have some long, big candles in the chart on the 8th. So overall, for the 8th, I feel like there will be some challenges because Mercury does represent trading, but Mars transit sextile to Uranus will dominate the charts, having an overall positive momentum for the day. April 9th through the 14th, we have Mars sextile to Bitcoin's Jupiter. That happens early in the morning, and Mars also enters into Aries this day. This I do see as overall positive day, especially because Mars is dominating the charts. A lot of action in the charts, a lot of movement. But overall, that movement, I see that as being positive for the 9th and for the 10th, because on the 10th, Venus will trine Bitcoin's Sun. And that's also the ruler of Bitcoin's midhaven. So again, I do see the 9th and the 10th as being overall a positive momentum. April the 11th, Mars will square to Bitcoin's Pluto. This is a challenge. I do see this as challenged market, negative momentum. Mars transits do not last that long. So on the 8th and the 9th and the 10th, I see overall positive momentum, but on the 11th, that will be interrupted, having a challenged market for most of the day on the 11th. April 12th, you have the Sun sextile Bitcoin's Neptune. This is very positive. The 12th through the 14th, I do see as overall very positive because of the transits occurring in Bitcoin's chart. Sun sextile Bitcoin's Neptune, extremely positive. That could give sudden surprises in the market, positive surprises, sudden, extremely long candles occurring on the 12th, on the 13th as well, because Mars will sextile Bitcoin's Mercury. But Neptune here I'm focused on because Neptune does very surprising things, and it could really push the market up further in prices. I see this as very positive on the 12th, especially. In the general transits chart on the 13th, Mars will conjunct Neptune. Those Neptune transits on the 12th and the 13th are really pushing the prices up for the market. This is a very positive time on the 12th through the 14th in the market. The 14th, Mercury will enter into Aries and also sextile to Uranus. This is a day that will have 6 planets in the sign of Aries. The only thing I could say is follow the news as well around this time. Even though I said that the charts will be overall positive, the news and the headlines, action could be coming out in the news. War ramping up, action being taken within war, fighting could be happening, and that will also heavily influence this time period. So while I'm saying that this is a positive time, the 12th through the 14th, the news and information that's coming out, especially Iran, Israel, the United States, could influence this period as well. Meaning if there's heavy fighting or war and action ramps up, this could affect the markets as well. So while the transits are saying positive for this period, the planets of war, it's the planets in the sign of war, Mars, could be telling a different story. So this will have to be watched, especially if there's a lot of heavy fighting or ramping up of the war. This could definitely influence how this market goes from the 12th through the 14th. Especially Mars next to Neptune in the general transits charts. This could also be aggressive actions taken, helping to ramp up the energies of this war and fighting. So this will have to be a time to watch the 11th through the 14th. It could have a different look in the market. April 15th, Neptune will sextile to Bitcoin's Mercury. This is a long-term transit, and it is very positive. This will likely be a positive day. Even like I said before, the news and information will also dictate how the market's going. But this could be very surprising. This could give the market even more of a increase in the prices, long green candles, continuous movement up for the market, especially the 15th. The 14th as well could be reflecting this. The market could just suddenly, all of a sudden, take off and start to move upwards. Long, strong green candles. Neptune sextile Mercury is a long-term transit. So the 13th, we could start to see the influence of this transit, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, possibly even the 16th. Now, the only reason I would say the 16th could be challenging is Mars is squaring Bitcoin's Mars. And that's why I have this chart here, because Mars could challenge the prices for a short period of time. Mars is short action, doesn't last for very long. With Neptune sextiling Bitcoin's Mercury, this could outshine Mars squaring Mars and only have a brief decrease with prices. And then it continues to go upwards. That's the 16th. Sun is also conjunct Chiron on the 16th. This is another reason why we could have some challenges as well. The 15th I see as very positive, the 14th and even the 13th. The 16th, we have Mars squaring Bitcoin's Mars. And we have Sun conjunct Chiron. This could be an issue. This could be a problem. This could give some sharp decreases. But I don't see that staying for very long due to Uranus trine Bitcoin's Jupiter on the new moon on the 17th. So if there are challenges between the 15th and the 16th, I would say the 16th could have some temporary decrease in the prices, but it will not last long and it will not overtake the market. Overall, I see the 16th as a positive. I do overall see the 12th through the 16th to be positive, a very positive period, with some periods of challenges, but overall positive. But depending on how the news goes, it will also dictate the market. That's all I have for now. I will be back for the new moon, which starts on April the 17th, and we'll see how that cycle will unfold. If you're looking for a personal astrology reading, my link is in the description below. Schedule a reading with me and we can look at your chart to see what's happening in your future, your present, and even your past. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and share.